I hung out with a couple of guys he saw in the picture, and just ended up crashing at some apartment and drinking a bunch of beers. So,
hey, who's on your couch? Dale Jr.
Yeah.
Yo, where's the toilet paper? You know, I can see. That's just how it happens. But they keep you pretty much busy. I always feel when you go down in the garage area, gets back to growing the sport. You go down in the garage area, if you want to go from the garage, from the 8-car to your hauler, that takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a mission.
Yeah. And I think, like, I always wonder, like, I mean, when I say how big can it grow, I mean, that's what I think of. You know, you can have as many fans as you want, but it gets more and more difficult for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of fun, though. Like, you'll find, like, some interesting routes, different routes. You'll take, like, 12 or 15 different routes before the weekend's over with, from the trailer to the car.
You got a body double? Anybody that looks like you go that way?
Actually, there's this photographer that looks just like me, and he borrowed one of my uniforms and went to some indie party, and Paul Newman introduced himself to the guy, thinking it was me.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that was pretty. He must have picked
up endless chicks.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to embarrass you or anything like that, but I mean, you know, come on,
yeah.
Let's go crazy over you. Dale Jr. That doesn't suck.
No, of course not.
No, of course not. You can tell who's fat and married. All right. Dude, I'm living through you. I'm so living through you. You know. You come up here, and I'm looking at the. I was looking at some of the stats for 2001. Now let me see. You got 18 races, 1 win, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s. It seems to be going real well for you. You're in the top 10. You're in the 8th place, kind of. Ironically, number 8.
Yeah, doing great. I mean, we've already done more than we did last year in the first half of the season. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, we're going into the second half of the season with a lot of momentum. We're coming off of the win and in the top 10 in points. I mean, that's kind of our goal. Just every week, instead of putting so much pressure on ourselves to run in the top 3, we just want to do whatever we can to get points. And that's finish close to your points position.
Now, the last half of last year, you know, things sort of it didn't go so well for you. And I had read that they said that you had lost, or you thought you had lost your focus, or you were distracted. Was there anything in particular that was distracting you, or was it just...
Not anything in particular, just being worn down, you know, just kind of fatigued a little bit mentally more than anything. And everything got, you know, you got, just like I said before, it's what you make of it. And,
right.
You know, when your attitude gets bad, when you're running bad and your attitude gets bad and your expectations aren't very high, everything kind of starts to slow down and get kind of tedious. So we've been trying to just kind of keep it real and have a lot of fun this year and take some time off and hang out with my friends and then go do our business.
Do you think that's what you do differently this year from last year?
Yeah.
You approach it differently?
I approach it a lot differently with you know, more interested in what's getting ready to happen around the corner.
Yeah. When you come to a place like New Hampshire, you got the new sealer here that's going to be a factor to some degree. We don't know yet. There was some talk about that. You know, they put the sealer down hoping that it would create a second groove. But the consensus from the drivers that I get, maybe you have a different opinion, is that a one groove racetrack is pretty much going to be a one groove racetrack.
Yeah. 2, also, I think we have 4 series here this weekend, so they'll wear the sealer off before our race even starts. What can't happen, though, is they'll wear the sealer off in the bottom groove, and some guys may run in the middle groove or even a high groove to get into the sealer that's still on the racetrack. So it just depends. I mean, you can run side by side here. If your car's working real good, you can pinch a guy on the bottom and you know, maybe make a pass on the outside. So, I mean, this is an enjoyable racetrack.
This is a loaded question. You can decline if you want. You're driving around the track. You're in the middle of a race. 43 cars out there. Any numbers you like to avoid? You know, like I'm coming up behind the, you know, whatever. Any numbers you like to avoid in particular?
Let's see. I don't mind being. It's not so much being behind the people. It's when they're behind you, you're a little nervous. God, there is one I can't think of.
What's Spencer's number?
I think
that was me that said that, everybody.
I tell you right. I mean, we're good friends, but Hornaday is a weapon.
Yeah.
when he's behind you. He's run over me at Rockingham this year, and I just could. I mean, it's kind of surprising. You're not even expecting it. You're just kind of sitting there riding along, get on the brakes, go in the corner, and wham! Happened so fast you don't know who it was. You have to ask your spotter, who hit me?
Are you like when you drive on the road when you're not racing? Are you kind of is there anything reminiscent of the way you drive on the racetrack, the way you drive on a highway?
Yeah, I mean when you get on the back roads, it's you're weaving over another lane and cutting corners and stuff like that.
You get angry? Because I do. I can't handle idiots on the road, man. I can't handle it.
No, I don't really. I don't really get angry. I find some people amusing how they drive.
See, come on now. I just don't see you going. That's funny, isn't that? Look at that. He's 25 miles an hour and a 55. That's funny. I don't see that.
Well, I mean, but like, what I like to do is like when people are in the same car I'm driving is like act like I'm racing them. Like if I'm driving down the road in a silver Suburban and I see a guy in another silver Suburban, I pull up and act like I'm racing him. So.
I'd like you to meet Andy Blacksmith. That's the same thing.
I'm drafting and everything out there.
He fakes out the rub, He does that,
It's fun.
It's a little 60-year-old lady, and it just happens that the color's black, I've seen him do it. It's ugly. It's ugly. What tracks are you looking forward to in the second half of the season?
Shoot, I don't know. Just going back to Pocono, going back to Michigan, going to places we've been to already this year. Some racetracks that we ran good at. Coming here, going to Watkins Glen.
What's the most fun other than racing?
Other than racing, what's the most fun? I mean,
Vegas.
Daytona. Yeah. I mean that race. See, the thing is about like the 400, going to the 500 is fun too, but you got